Hi everyone, I know I haven't vlogged in a bit, so I'm just going to catch you up a little bit on what's happened. Kids are not well, as you can probably guess. They're still not better, so we've had to homeschool a little bit, um, because there's like a 2-day rule if you've been sick, and then you're not allowed to go into the school for about 48 hours just to allow the virus to pass. So MJ has not been great. She is hopefully gonna be back in school on Thursday, but we've been busy, been straight up busy. I mean, I'll be very, very honest. Um, Pop seems to be all right, so we'll see what happens. What's going on with him, but MD is not good. In any case, the plan for today, as far as I can do, because right now both kids are having a nap. The plan for today is continue to make roughly about 4 or 5 characters who are like secondary characters. They're not really going to come in again, but they will be um, fellow drivers on the taxi stand. I also had like a massive brainwave. I couldn't sleep on Saturday or something. I couldn't sleep on Saturday, and I had this massive brainwave of what Kenny is, what his character is, what is he going to be doing, and it was more along the lines of changing his personality. So, and also I think the style that I have currently drawn Kenny in doesn't work with the style that I'm trying to give for the story. Bernie, if you saw Bernie's design was done yesterday. I posted that on Patreon. I hinted that a little bit on Instagram, and I'll maybe do um, something for Bernie later. But he's the owner of the taxi stand that Kenny works at. I don't want to give away too much more than that for the story. But again, if you're part of the Patreon, you will see what the stories happen. What is the story and how it unfolds. Anyway, but for Kenny, the style didn't work. So I want to have a new check of Kenny. I like the design still. There's some aspects of it I think I might want to change here and there, but I think overall I like the design. It works, but the style that is drawn in doesn't quite work. So I need to redo that. And what I'm thinking is, if you've ever seen Atlantis, which the Disney movie, it's a nice little film. Maybe a bit fast paced. There's not really a pause moment in that film. But if you've ever seen Atlantis, the style that they do that, everything's quite rigid, everything's quite straight, and there's not many curves involved in it, apart from maybe one character. But all of it gives this kind of stiff army feel, but it's cartoony and complex enough that it works with um, a decent kind of comedic yet serious style. So the story fits in with the art style as well, and that's really what you want to try and achieve. You can't just have like say like a really cartoony Roald Dahl style writing and then have intense Jim Lee style art that doesn't work with it. Quentin Blake works really really nicely with Roald Dahl because it fits in with that kind of chaotic scene, and in general Quentin Blake's art is phenomenal. But I don't think Quentin Blake's art style would necessarily work for, say, like Jeff Johns' writing or Frank Miller, if you know what I mean. So it has to fit. Everything has to work together, and it's almost like the writing will inform the art style, and the art style will inform the writing. So this is why changes need to be made, and this is why the whole planning and the concept art happens. You can't just start from you know zero and hope to achieve something. So with the Kenny design, I will redo his face. I think that's the main problem, and his body structure a little bit more. It'll be a little bit more rigid, for sure, less, maybe more maybe more exaggerated in certain areas. Not so much with like the torso, but maybe more like limbs. Sort of feed in a little bit more to the manga style. And actually, what I really really like is I've just started reading the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff on Shonen, and it works really nicely. And I think I will try and lean into that style, which actually fits in with the Atlantis style quite nicely as well. I'll try and find a decent balance uh, in there anyway. So I'll play about with that, and hopefully, if I have time today. But again, today's priority is more about finding those individual characters, and then we'll see if we can fit Kenny in towards the end of the week. It's not that he's going to be missed out, because again, as our central character, he's very, very important. But I'm not really in the mood to work on Kenny just now. Um, anyway, I've also been doing these classes on Digital Painting Studio by Hardy Fowler, and honestly, phenomenal stuff. It's so good. It's so easy just to pick up. I don't necessarily think I have the patience for digital painting yet, but we will get there. It will be important for the character concept art and the character designs as well going forward. So, and then maybe, I think I said before, we're going to work on Blender stuff. But again, all this is future stuff. It'll come out. I'll keep working at it like I need to work at it, and we'll get something in eventually. Anyway, that's a little catch up. I know it's ran on a little bit, but just so you are aware. As always, please share, please like, get as many people onto the Patreon as you possibly can. It's always a massive help to me, my family, and just to get these stories out there. So thank you to those of you who have already joined. Thank you to those of you who are considering joining, and to those of you who are going to be joining in the future. It always makes such a big difference. So again, thanks again, and I'll see you at the next one.